Hey race fans, this is Rory. You're on the road, paddock headquarters here. Coming home from Montreal, coming home from the Canadian Grand Prix. I just wanted to give you a couple thoughts. Two quick topics. First one, certainly I have to congratulate Max Verstappen and the Red Bull team. Listen, I know if you are not a fan of Red Bull, you are not enjoying life right now, but you really have to give credit and respect to the talent of that operation. So Max gets win number 41, ties Senna. Red Bull, the whole team, the whole operation gets win number 100. And for me, here in the United States, it reminds me of Tom Brady when he was with the New England Patriots and he had that system in place with Coach Belichick. And at times they were just so unbeatable and they won so many Super Bowls. It really, Max and Red Bull, and listen, I know the dominance about Mercedes and Lewis Hamilton, certainly. But, you know, today we're talking about the Canadian Grand Prix. We're talking about what Red Bull has done and them getting their 100th win. Really it's just incredible. It's just a great accomplishment. And I'm not the biggest Red Bull fan. I'm not the biggest Max Verstappen or Checo fan. I support them. I don't have any problems with Red Bull or any of the drivers. But I do respect and admire the talent. When somebody performs at an elite level that nobody else on the planet can do, you have to just sit there and give credit. So good job to Max Verstappen, the entire team at Red Bull, hitting a couple milestones this weekend at the Canadian Grand Prix. Congratulations to you guys. So the next topic that I wanted to just talk about briefly was Logan Sargent with Williams Racing. So I'm an American, obviously. I support Logan Sargent. Of the 20 drivers, he's the only American driver. I think he is good enough to be there. He started off the season with really good promise and has kind of faltered since then. But I just see so many people pushing Mick Schumacher, especially Toto Wolff and Mercedes. He's got all of these people pushing for him. And then they've started these rumors, you know, I guess they're rumors that, you know, Mick may at some point replace Logan Sargent. And I think if you're Williams Racing, listen to me, you people at Williams, I know you know what you're doing. You cannot replace Logan Sargent or even think about replacing Logan Sargent. Not until you've gotten at least race 15, 16, 17 under your belt. He needs time to develop. And you've given him a commitment. But it's not like, despite all of the hype and push for Mick Schumacher, he had his chance to perform. He had ample opportunity to learn and perform. He could still have his seat with Haas today, but he failed to perform. He had his chance. There's no rush to get him back into a seat. I don't know why. I mean, he's got several of these sports writers, and clearly the entire team at Mercedes is really running this advocacy campaign to get Mick Schumacher back in the seat as quickly as possible. And I don't dislike Mick Schumacher. I don't think anybody dislikes Mick Schumacher. But the talent wasn't there when he had his chance to perform. And to talk about replacing Logan Sargent or to start those rumors this early, quite honestly, frustrates me a little bit. It's only been 8 races into the season. You have to give Logan Sargent the bulk of the season to see how he develops. Anybody can turn anything around at any time. So that's my pitch. I am pulling for Logan. I do like Williams. They're one of my favorite teams. But that's not necessarily my biggest point with this video. My biggest point is, my goodness, Mick Schumacher, he's got all of these people pulling for him and constantly talking about how he did this work on the simulator. He did this. He's great for the team. You know, Mercedes, if you love him so much, put him in one of your seats. Put him in one of your seats for a race or two. You know, but don't use your relationship with Vols and try and knock out the only American driver on the grid. I wouldn't like that. And obviously, if they did that, I clearly would not support Williams at any point. So those are my thoughts. I really would like to know how you feel, anyone that's watching the videos, particularly about the American Logan Sargent, some of the difficulties he's run into, and Mick Schumacher. Do you think he really deserves a seat immediately, like right now? Are you willing to excuse all of the accidents? And really, he had a tough run when he was in his Formula One seat. So I don't know if there's necessarily a rush to get him back in the seat right now. But I'd like to know what you think. If you disagree, put something in the comments, let me know. And if you think Mick is going to end up in a seat, either this season or next season, let me know where you think he may end up. And just briefly, one more thing. So there's several drivers that I think could potentially have trouble at the end of the season for me. I think Yuki Tsunoda, despite he had a really decent performance initially, I think he might be in trouble. I think AlphaTauri might be looking to move on from him and keep De Vries. De Vries is the rookie. They've committed to him. I think they're going to give him at least another season to work through his issues, even though we are getting a new principal at AlphaTauri for the next season. Magnussen at Haas. I think Nico has exposed Kevin that his time might be up. Kevin he's a veteran, but he's not driving like a veteran. So there's some issues over there. So those are just two drivers early on that I think might be in trouble. Things might not look their way at the end of the season. So anyway, listen, you're in Paddock Headquarters. I drop a video, all things Formula One, every single day. Thank you for watching. I'd love to hear what you think. I'd love to know your opinion.